What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Weekly GCap, the only source you'll ever need to catch up on all the gaming news from the last week. As always, we got a ton to go through today, so let's go ahead and get right into this. First things first, Baldur's Gate 3 finally released on Xbox. It is available on Xbox Series S and X for $69.99. This released on December 7th, so if you missed it, which it would make sense considering that it happened at the same time as the Game Awards and all the attention was over there, so this kind of flew below the radar, but yes, it is finally out on Xbox. Next up, the Tekken 8 demo is available now. This coming from Tekken on X, quote, "Get ready for your first battle in hashtag Tekken 8. The hashtag Tekken 8 demo releases on December 14th, aka by the time you guys are seeing this, it's out now, on PlayStation, and December 21st on Xbox and Steam. So if you're on PlayStation, you can play now. If not, you'll have to wait till next week, you know, on Xbox and Steam. Enjoy the first chapter of the hashtag Tekken 8 story, The Dark Awakens, and a local versus fighting mode. See you in the ring, fighters. I've already played the demo, and I can tell you firsthand, yeah, I'm just ready for the full game to release now. It's awesome. Next up, we got some updates concerning the future of Starfield. This coming from Bethesda Game Studios on Reddit, quote, "We've been hard at work on many of the issues you posted and expect an update early next year that will include a large number of in-progress quest fixes as well as FSR 3 and XESS. Though we fixed several quest issues from occurring in-progress quest fixes are much harder to fix, and we built a new system to correct those without you having to roll back your save. We're also hard at work on many of new features you asked for, from city maps to mod support to all new ways of traveling. Stay tuned. These will be rolling out with a regular cadence of fixes and updates we expect to have roughly every 6 weeks. If something can be done in a smaller hotfix in between, like the asteroid, and we feel it's safe, we'll get one of those out as well. Safe is the key here. We do take a lot of time to test even the smallest change in a game this large and dynamic. Hope this information helps. If there are items you want more info on or issues to make us aware of, keep posting here or our official Discord. Thanks again for all your support of us and the game," end quote. So you heard it here. Updates will be coming for Starfield throughout 2024, and if there's any bugs you'd like to report, or, you know, maybe even features you'd like to ask for, go over to Reddit, go over to Discord, just, you know, whatever social media you can reach out to them on. It's worth giving it a shot, because they are open ears, and they are listening to the community. Next up, man, this is kind of unfortunate, but a pretty big update for Spider-Man 2 that I know a lot of folks were looking forward to was delayed. So this coming from Insomniac Games on X, quote, "Hey webheads, we have some news about the next game update for Marvel Spider-Man 2. We know players have been eagerly awaiting features such as New Game Plus and audio descriptions, among many more. We have been working vigilantly on these features and require more testing to ensure the quality is up to our standards. We are now targeting early 2024 for the next game update, and we'll have a feature complete list closer to its release. We've heard your feedback and we'll be adding some highly requested features, including the ability to change the time of day, which is awesome, swap tendril colors, and replay missions, just to name a few. We can't wait to share more with you in the future. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience as our team works to finish our next update for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Thanks, Insomniac Games," end quote. So again, it's unfortunate that this was delayed, because I know a lot of players, myself included, was really looking forward to that update, you know, especially with like New Game Plus and a lot of the other quality of life things that they mentioned here. But it is what it is, especially with the holidays coming up. Rather than rushing to get it out for the holidays, I'd rather they take their time and maybe even, you know, take a much deserved break after what I'm sure was a very long and tiring development cycle to, you know, just enjoy the holidays with their families. We'll get it soon enough towards the beginning of early 2024. Next up, this is just something I wanted to highlight quick, but Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown got a new trailer. If you remember, we talked about this a couple of months ago, how it kind of got delayed, got pushed off, but here it is. We're seeing it again. We don't have an official release date, but it will be available 2024 on PS5, and as you're seeing on your screen, I mean, the game looks great. Apparently, this is in-engine gameplay footage, so, yeah, I don't know, man. These next-gen racing games between, like, Forza Motorsport and now this, they've just been looking crazy lately, so, yeah, I'm very excited to get my hands on this one. Next up, you might want to strap in, because we have a huge controversy to go over. So I'm sure you guys have heard of a game called The Day Before, and, oh, man, I don't even know where to begin with this can of worms. So basically, the game was hyped up for years of being like this next generation, just massive game, like bigger than a game type of thing, right? Like it was gonna be huge. And, well, fast forward a couple of years past all the hype and stuff like that, and the game finally released, and to say that it was a scam would be, very nice. It would, that would be a very, very generous way of putting it. I would call it a blatant lie. Barely anything that was shown in the trailers was actually there in the final game. All the polish we saw in the trailers was not there in the final game, and the game that we saw just wasn't there. Like, this was barely even a game. It barely even functioned. If you bought the game, refunds are available now. Even if you've, like, surpassed the 2-hour Steam limit, you can still get your refund. Like, they're opening it up to everybody. So even if you have, like, 40 hours in the game, go get your refund. You deserve it. Just go play something worth your time. The game is also no longer available to purchase, so if you missed out on this travesty, well, then you're lucky. Another thing worth mentioning is that the development team, or the publisher, whatever you want to call them, they deleted everything from their YouTube channel. So if you go to Fantastic, or I think that's how you're supposed to say it, it's spelled Fantastic without the first A, so it's like F-fantastic, I don't know. Anyway, which is the complete opposite of what this game was, by the way. Their YouTube channel is completely wiped out, and, you know, it looks like they're almost trying to erase any trace of this game ever existing, but, you know, this is not something the gaming community will ever forget. And then they decided to reply to some people's comments on X for whatever reason. And while we could go down the whole rabbit hole, I'll just read you guys my favorite one. The first post coming from Fantastic HQ on X, quote, hashtag the day before, hashtag fantastic, hashtag Mytona. Answer to those who ask for a refund, Mytona, and we're currently working with Steam to allow refunds for any player who chooses to request one, regardless of game time. Fantastic receives $0 and will receive nothing from the day before sales. Thank God, they don't deserve anything for this. And then in response, Kuipershot commented, unbelievable that you guys hyped this game up so much and this is the end result. You guys are an absolute disgrace to the video game industry. And then Fantastic HQ responded with, quote, this was our first big experience. SHIT happens. What? Like, that is your response? That's your response. Man, what a blunder. Not even a blunder, dude. What a joke, man. This is just, oh, man. As you can imagine, everybody was absolutely dunking on them, and the replies and the comments to that is just, oh, gosh. But anyway, thankfully, this is the first time I've ever said thankfully, but thankfully, their studio is shutting down. Like, they will be no more. Fantastic HQ posted this up on X, saying, today we announced the closure of Fantastic Studio. Unfortunately, the day before has failed financially. Thank God, you deserve it. Anyway, and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off debts to our partners. We invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours into the development of the day before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately we don't have the funding to continue the work. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the day before. There was no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game, and lying to your consumers in the process. But anyway, we'll continue on. At the moment, the future of the day before and prop night is unknown, but the service will remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately we miscalculated our capabilities. Creating games is an incredibly challenging endeavor. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. 2015, opening of the studio. 2017, release of The Wild 8. 2018, release of The Dead Dozen. 2018 again, release of Radiant 1. 2021, releases of Prop Night. And 2023, release of the day before, for better or worse. Yeah, there we go. That's it. In the span of a week, the game came out finally after years of them hyping it up or whatever, and just like that, in the span of the week, the game is gone, their studio's shutting down, much deservedly, and that's kind of that. Next up, after, gosh, man, I feel like we're going back to back with the bad stories here, or, you know, the more negative stories. It depends how you look at it, right? Like, the day before one is kind of comical, but it's also not, because they, like, scammed a bunch of players out of money, so, you know, it's like, But this one's genuinely sad. E3 is officially dead, for good. This coming from E3 on X, quote, after more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories, end quote. Seriously, that's all they said. No big videos recapping the highlights or whatever, which we're gonna have some B-roll going in the background. Just, a video from IGN, which, they posted that up a while ago, just kind of showing some highlights from E3. So, yeah, man, I don't even know how to, like, as soon as I saw this post, man, my heart genuinely, like, I cried. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm a grown man, I'm in my 20s, and I still cried. E3 is something that I've looked forward to for decades at this point, ever since I was a little kid, man. I remember summertime, it was always so exciting, just waiting for E3 season, sitting there watching the reveals, all the crazy stuff. I'll never forget seeing stuff like Shigeru Miyamoto come out to announce Zelda. Remember, like, when the door came up and the smoke rolled and all that, and they had, like, the sword and the shield, and it's just... Oh, man. So many legendary moments at E3, but, I could go on and on with this, but unfortunately, we do have a lot of other stories to get to, so, now I'll leave this to you guys. Please, go down in the comments. I never ask for stuff like this, I'm not trying to be one of the typical, like, oh, you leave a comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell type of YouTuber here, but I genuinely want to hear from you guys, like, in the comments, if you guys could. Please, just let me know, like, your favorite moments from E3, did you ever go to E3, did you only watch it online, or whatever, like, just... What are your favorite moments from E3? What are some of your memories with it? I'd really like to hear from you guys. And, you know, I read every comment. I reply and heart every comment. So, you know, I'll be down there talking with you guys as well, and we can continue this conversation there. For now, unfortunately, we do have to move on with the show. But, yeah, rip E3, man. It will very much be missed. Next up, some new games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Those being Harvest Moon 64, 1080 Snowboarding, and Jet Force Gemini. All amazing games right there, man. Harvest Moon 64, it's a classic nostalgic Harvest Moon game. 1080 Snowboarding, just... who doesn't love those, like, sportsy, you know, snowboarding games, whether it be like this or SSX? Just, and that one's an absolute classic right there. Definitely try that one out if you haven't. And Jet Force Gemini, an absolutely underrated rare shooter from the N64 era. Just any of these games I can highly recommend. So as soon as the update comes out, make sure you download it. Make sure to dive in and try them, especially if you haven't played them before, because all of these games, all of them are great. Next up, we got the December PS Plus Extra and Premium games for you guys. Those being Grand Theft Auto 5, Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, MotoGP 23, Metal Hellsinger, Salt and Sacrifice, Moonscars, Mega Man 11, Gigabash, Grime, Tinykin, Proteus, Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun Daggerfall, Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. Oh, and I forgot to mention, but the Shadowrun Daggerfall, that's also the director's cut of that game. And then in the premium tier, we have Mega Man Legacy Collection, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2, Thrillville Off the Rails, and Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, an amazing licensed game from that era, by the way. So, yeah, great lineup here. And, like, Final Fantasy Origin and GTA 5, huge pickups right there. And if I could recommend an underrated one, Tinykin. It's sort of like Pikmin, but it's not. It's like, it's similar, but it's different. I can highly recommend that one. Definitely give that one a shot. And finally, we got the Game Awards recap. We are going to be going over everything. Every game that, it doesn't matter if it was a brand new announcement or not. If it even had a presence at the Game Awards, we're going to be talking about it. So first, we're going to go over the game reveals, and then we'll go over the awards at the end. So please bear with me. This is just going to be, we're going to be knocking this out as quick as possible. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons is getting a remake. Pony Island 2, Panda Circus, and I'm just going to be going through and, like, just saying the names, by the way. The Rise of the Golden Idol, Usual June, Arknight Enfield, Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, Thrasher, Persona 3 Reload, Dredge and Dave the Diver are a collab expansion, World of Goo 2, Persona creators are making a game called Metaphor Refantasio, Exodus, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla, it's a free roguelike DLC for the game, you can go download it now, Big Walk, Kamuri, No Rest for the Wicked, Sega revealed 5 games at once, those being Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Crazy Taxi, and and more. So there's going to be more coming there. Super excited there. Super nostalgic games. So excited. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Another one I'm super excited for. A single-player Dead by Daylight spin-off being developed by Supermassive Games. Rise of the Ronin. Outlast Trials. OD, which is Shinji Mikami, or not Shinji Mikami, Hideo Kojima's new game. Gosh. Jurassic Park Survival. Fortnite Rocket Racing. Black Myth Wukong, Warframe Whispers in the Wall, it's a new expansion for that game, Banishers Ghosts of New Eden, Tales of Kenza Roselle, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, developed by Don't Nod, First Berserker Kezan, Marvel Blade, developed by Arcane, the Dishonored developers, Last Sentinel, Shark Bob, Mecha Break, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, Den of Wolves, Exoborn, Asgard's Wrath 2, Light No Fire, which is being made by the No Man's Sky devs, so I'll keep my eyes on that, but I'm staying cautiously optimistic, just, you know, with the history there. Stormgate, Final Fantasy 16 DLC, there's some out now, and there's more coming in 2024. The Finals, which is also out now, super fun FPS game, and Monster Hunter Wilds to close things out, so, yeah, great lineup of game reveals there, but now let's dive into the awards. We got 31 to go through. Player's Voice, Baldur's Gate 3, Best Esports Event, 2023 League of Legends World Championship, Best Esports Coach, Christine Potter Chi, Evil Geniuses for Valorant. Best Esports Team, JD Gaming of League of Legends. Best Esports Athlete, Lee Faker Sang Hyok of League of Legends. Best Esports Game, Valorant. Content Creator of the Year, Iron Mouse. Most Anticipated Game, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Best Multiplayer, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Sports/Racing, Forza Motorsport. Best Sim/Strategy Game, Pikmin 4. Best Family Game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Best Fighting Game, Street Fighter 6. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Action Adventure Game, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Best Action Game, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Best VR/AR Game, Resident Evil Village VR Mode. Best Mobile Game, Honkai Star Rail. Best Debut Indie Game, Cocoon. Best Indie Game, Sea of Stars. Best Community Support, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Ongoing Game, Cyberpunk 2077. Games for Impact, Chia. Innovation and Accessibility, Forza Motorsport. Best Performance, Neil Newman, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Audio Design, Hi-Fi Rush. Best Score and Music, Final Fantasy 16. Best Art Direction, Alan Wake 2. Best Narrative, Alan Wake 2. Best Adaptation, The Last of Us. Best Game Direction, Alan Wake 2. And the Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. There you have it. There is every single reveal and award from the Game Awards. If you're interested in any of the titles or anything I mentioned, just go back through, listen to what I said, and, you know, just kind of do some more research from there. I wish I could go in-depth on every game, but I also can't make the show 5 hours long. But anyway, that's all the stories and everything that I got for you guys this week. So no, I'd definitely love to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on everything that we talked about? This week was absolutely insane. In terms of quantity of stories, usually I average like, I don't know, 14 to 20 stories. Today was only about 10 stories in total, but there was a lot to them. So let me know what you're thinking about the day before, E3, the Game Awards, just anything. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I love to hear from you guys. But anyway, this is Weekly GCap. New episodes go live every single Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, so if you'll catch them as soon as they go live, well then I know to be here. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.